Okay, I'm ready to roll. You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Yep.
What is up, Resource Nation? We have a special guest for the third week in a row, I think, Todd. I can't wait to unpack this real quick. $200 million mega producer, Coach Wally, all the way from Texas, man, who's going to be with Todd and I at Palm Desert, October 11th through the 14th. I'm excited. We only got 10 minutes with him for today. So, guys, pay attention, turn it up, get your notes ready because you got a mega producer coming to hit you hard, bring a ton of value. Todd, talk to us about Wally and what he's going to talk about at Sales Mastery. We just want a little bit of it like an appetizer, so we have to go to Sales Mastery, get the full meal deal. But give us kind of a little bit of heads up about Wally, Coach Wally.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say two things that come to mind immediately. Probably one of the greatest learners I've ever observed, watching, always asking questions, always trying to figure out how to do things better, and really has found the heart of a leader. He's really, maybe in the last 5 years, gone from being a mega producer to being an amazing leader. And the team he's building right now is second to none. He's a visionary as well. He thinks bigger than anybody that I've probably ever really connected with about what's possible, and has done a great job building wealth that way. So,
you know what, Todd?
What?
Before we get to Wally, I got to give him a quick shout out. Like, going from amazing producer to amazing leader is not easy. Like, the compliment you just gave him, everybody thinks if you're a top producer, being an amazing leader is just the next easy step. It's not. So kudos to you, Wally, man, for being able to do that, because that is a different skill set, being an amazing leader versus an amazing producer. Just want to give you a quick shout out on that, man.
He's using a beautiful football analogy. You know, he was a quarterback when he started, and now he's the general manager, and he's going to get to ownership pretty quickly. And when you own your team, and the team is built to succeed, think about the transition plan. Think about succession plan when you have built a team and you now are in this position of, you've moved from me to we, and that's what he's done. So
love that.
It is amazing. It is amazing. And it hasn't been easy. I think Wally would tell you that it hasn't been easy, but he's learning from the best, and he is the best. So it's cool. Yeah. All right. So Wally, what little trickle of value at Sales Mastery? You're making some powerful moves. You just said before we went live that 5 years ago, your business was 90% real estate agent and 10% database. And we've been working together trying to get the business to where 7 or so of every loans every month are not coming from realtors. What are your numbers right now? And what did you do to make that happen?
Yeah. So before I dig into numbers, I can't wait for Nikki to watch this, because at home, I still have to take out the trash. She still allows me vacuuming. So it's gonna be great. No, I'd say that the big, so yeah, that's the data point. So 2018, before I got really in elite, and Marty Preston, elite coach, coached me with Todd, and they coached me basically. I walked in, I was just, $75-100 million producer back then. And that's great. I'm not knocking anybody at that number, but 90% of my business came from realtors, no CPAs, no financial advisors, no family will attorneys, no annual mortgage view, nothing at all. So every single month I had to wake up, grab my phone and go hit the streets. Every single month you go from hero to zero, and you're good, right? So with Todd's coaching, with elite coaching, this is what you have to come to Sales Mastery to be able to kind of get the exposure. Is I am bringing one of my top wealth partners, John White, which is actually with Northwestern Mutual, for him to break down anything on the financial advisor side, from the wealth management side, and how a loan officer can be intertwined in that.
Love that.
Here's the results. Okay, so if you want to come and get the blueprint, come to Sales Mastery. But the results now, I went from 90% realtor business. Now it's only 40% realtor business. Okay.
Wow.
I went from 10% database business. Now it's 40% database business. I went from 0 wealth partners. So wealth partners, a CPA, financial advisor, family will attorney, and then insurance. So now it's 20% of the business is wealth partners. So it's three major things that have changed, but how they change, it starts with data received at Sales Mastery. It starts with annual mortgage reviews and how to build that circle of cash flow. I met Todd back in 1999, back at an old CTX conference. And I remember him back then, and I remember him, 5-6 years ago, talking about the circle of cash flow. And it sounded cool. Then it became, man, I wish I could. Then it became, yeah, I can do it. Okay, oh no, I failed. And it finally hit me with Todd and Marty and Elite coaching the last probably 4 or 5 years, how to really bring that to life.
Yeah.
You go from 75 million in loans just 4 years later to over 200 million in loans, and actually have a quality of life that I can be a father. I can make it my son's games. I can be a husband. I can go on date nights with my wife. I can go on vacations, and I'm not married to my phone. I can actually be present because I've built a healthy business that streamlined referrals keep coming in, streamlined referrals keep going out. So my wealth partners have value. Todd challenged me back in like 2019 of tracking how many referrals I was sending out. And he gave me some stupid number. He was like, "Hey, you need to do $250,000 in referrals out." I'm like, "Dude, like that's a lot." And that year we did over $250,000 in commissions out referrals.
Oh, wow.
So I tracked it, and people ask me, "Well, how do you track it?" I'm like, "Dude, I had a sheet of paper."
What a cool metric to track, man. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Building economies for your partners.
Love that.
It's a 7-figure number now.
Yeah, it's over 2 million now. But what I'm trying to express to the loan officers out there, everybody's scrounging for those bottom barrel deals. If you can learn truly how to bring value and truly how to have stickiness with your referral partners, you could be a loan officer who comes to the table and hands a referral in the beginning. The first step.
Yeah.
You don't ask for a referral. You don't sell them on you. You don't take them to happy hour. You don't take them to lunches. You come to the table with John Smith, wants to do financial advising, wants to do CPA, wants to buy a house. You come to the table with referral. And that's what we'll break down at Sales Mastery.
That's amazing, man.
Think about it, Ryan. Think about just the idea that you're going to do a high trust interview with a new potential realtor partner, and you do the high trust interview and they agree to do business with you. And the way the relationship starts is here's a buy side or a sell side.
Right. I love it, man. I want to have him on for a third talk to talk about how to have work-life balance at 200 million, because most LOs don't think that's a real life thing. Like, and Wally's a great example.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've got 17 pages of data right now that we've been doing over the last 90 days. And I'm going to tell you 95% of the loan officers surveyed don't do what Wally does. 95. And it's not just a Wally survey. It's like everything our elite guys and gals are doing. And there's going to be 7 of them on stage at Mastery. Every one of them is dateable. I can take and see what Wally's doing. And I can tell this audience watching this 10-minute broadcast right now that only 4% of loan officers, and this survey is 1 month old, only 4% of loan officers do an annual client review with their borrowers. 96% of loan officers don't stay in touch with their clients after closing in a meaningful way. Yesterday, I did a survey, and the question was, how good are you at follow-up? 2% gave themselves a 5, 4% gave themselves a 4, and everybody else was average or below. And then I said, where do you think you could do a better job? 44% said before the application is even taken, and this is in follow-up, what do we do to create the customer experience before the app is even done? And then the one that was 46% was the annual review. How many of you stay in touch with your clients every single year, do a review, add value, and look for business?
Yeah.
So 88% of loan officers say they actually suck at staying in touch.
Call it what it is.
Staying in touch before the app and staying in touch after the loan closes. And that's where Wally has created the magic. It's just like, it's unstoppable. So that's why everybody needs to come. We can't give you the playbook right now in 10 minutes, but I can tell you right now, one session with Wally's a 7-figure decision for every loan officer. Seriously. Yeah, go.
All right. So, and if you're a loan officer, Todd's right. You have to come. But if you're a branch manager and you have loan officers, you absolutely have to come. Okay. And I cannot express this even more. What the next phase of my scalability is, now we're building this annual mortgage review wealth team, the Circle of Cashflow, for each one of our branch loan officers. I just recruited a $40 million producer last Tuesday to the branch. Because of that, I just recruited a $60 million producer yesterday to the branch as a branch loan officer that I'm building that for. I'm taking the models and systems that I learned of how to build a $200 million mortgage team through the Indian Mortgage View, the wealth team, the concierge service. Now I'm taking that to 30, 40, $50 million producers. I've just been able to add $100 million in production, just at a baseline, to my branch production by reduplicating this. If you're a branch manager and you're not providing this to your loan officers and you're not using this as a recruiting vehicle, it's going to be really tough for you to make it moving forward.
Yeah. Solid, man. Absolutely solid.
Todd, I mean, every 30-year anniversary, right? Every year has been important, but I just got back from speaking at two MBA conferences, and I'll tell you the tone was, to be nice, nervous energy. To be real, fear. And every one of those years were important, but man, I don't know how you don't show up to this thing, especially listening to Wally go, here's the blueprint. I'm thriving in this market where everyone else is fearful. How do you not show up to Sales Mastery? I don't get it, guys. I'll give you the final word. Encourage these LOs. I understand the fear, guys. I understand the contraction, but I don't know, and Todd could probably speak to this too, if there's been a more important year than the last 30 years to show up to Sales Mastery.
I got a video from one of our elite members yesterday, Rick Mount, and he said, one of the things that you taught me that I'll never forget is hard markets are hard and easy markets are hard. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what's happening right now. To run the business the right way is hard, but it's worth it. And so what ends up happening is, in a market like we're in right now, people that are centered on fear are kind of creating a poverty mindset. They're actually creating their own self-fulfilling prophecy because they are choosing a belief that they don't have to choose. And what we know right now, and I know it for sure because I never funded a loan in my career, almost 6,000 families served. I never funded a loan in my career less than 10% interest rate. And the first 4 years were 17, 18% interest rates. So there's enough people for you to make your business work, but the people aren't going to be enough if you don't reach out and conduct business like the market is the market.
Yep.
And so, the thing I'll tell people is, like, if the ticket's around $700 or $800 to come to Mastery, and you buy an airplane ticket for $700, that's probably pretty conservative. You buy a hotel room for 3 nights, $700. Get yourself some nice food for 3 days, $700. That all adds up to $2,800, Ryan.
Yep.
And that is like 60% of a loan commission in America. And so people that say they don't have the money are not thinking like a business owner. They're not preparing the business for the next phase, which is why this lineup, 32 people like Wally. Yeah. Well, actually, nobody's like Wally, but 32 people just giving it. Yeah. And that's a compliment, just giving it.
Well, I love what Wally said. We'll wrap with this. Well, I'll give you the final word. You not only everything that Todd said is absolutely true, but you said in the green room, not only that, to thrive through a tough market and build a business. You're running a business and you're not chasing your next refi. You've built a business and you're continuing to build a business. I love that. Do it for your family. You and I were talking about golfing with our boys in the green room. Like, you can build a business so great so that you can actually have an amazing work-life balance and give your best to your best, which is typically your family. So not only is it important to build your business, but it's for your family as well. I'll give you the last word, Wally, and then we'll close up.
I received one of the best compliments I've ever received from my two sons. His name's my oldest sons, Braden the Brave and Alexander the Great. Braden told me we just remodeled their house, and I was home, and he goes, "Dad, the last 3 days I've come home from school." He comes home from school at 2:00, goes plays golf. The last 3 days I've come home from school, you're home before me. Gets out of school at 2:00. Put that in perspective. I'm driving through a market like this, and I actually can be a present father to go play golf with my son during the work week in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's what's on the table, guys and girls. Understand the ability to build a great business is awesome, and it's on the table. That's not why you got to come to Sales Mastery. The ability to build a great business and a great lifestyle is why you need to come to Sales Mastery. Those two are equally important.
Right on. Good job. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, guys, I'm excited. Wally, I can't wait to hang with you. I'm going to do exactly what it says behind you and learn a ton from you. I'm going to bring a big book of notes. So thanks for spending time with us today. 10-minute quick hitter. We'll see you guys October 11th, Sales Mastery. See you next week.